Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC Extra Time. I'm Dan Thomas. Jan and Frank are with us to answer your tweets. First one, Frank, should Barcelona sell Griezmann or keep him? And before we get to that, what did you make of his stance in the wall today?
Well, he's half responsible for the goal. Well, he's 1/3 responsible. The first responsible is Piqué. I don't know why he tackled and the way he tackled for the referee to allow the free kick. I mean, that was insane. That's not a defender attitude. After, I think Ter Stegen didn't put the ball in the right place. He should have been a little bit more on his right. And then, yes, it's true that Griezmann didn't face the shooter. He showed his back. I don't know why. If he's so scared of the ball, he should get out of the wall. So he's 1/3 responsible for that. But because everybody wants him to be responsible for everything, I would say that he's only 1/3 of responsible for that.
Is he just the scapegoat here, Jan, or would you be having a word if one of your players did that in the wall?
Well, there is something wrong in the kingdom of Barcelona, isn't there? I think it's always one week there's something going on. Even Messi, that everybody thinks is a schoolboy, is kind of going around, and that result today was a consequence of that. And I think that it's easy to pick on Griezmann, but I think there is a lot of things going on at Barcelona at the moment, and this is of course a big chance for Real Madrid to get an advantage in La Liga.
Should they sell him, Frank?
Yes, because I think it was a mistake, and I've already said that on the show. I think it's a mistake from Barcelona because they knew that it was impossible to put Messi and Griezmann together because they played mostly the same place, and we heard Messi saying that they don't want Griezmann to come. So it was already slippery in their relationship, and therefore they shouldn't have asked Griezmann to come. And in Griezmann's side, he should have gone elsewhere, even if it was a dream for him to play for Barcelona. We felt that he wasn't welcome to go there, so therefore he should have denied the offer and go to another club.
Jan, who is the most boring team that you ever had to watch, and why is it Atletico Madrid?
No, it's a terrible question. I think that we have to accept that people play differently, and I think that Atletico Madrid is doing great. I must say that sometimes when Barcelona, I will take it the other way around. Sometimes when you saw Barcelona just passing the ball around, when that is also bad to watch. I think that is very boring to watch. I want to see teams going forward. I want to see them using the counterattacks. I want to see them using speed going forward. No, I don't think it's boring to watch Atletico Madrid. I think it's brilliant to watch Diego Simeone going ballistic on the sidelines.
Frank, you're always a big fan of the Italian sides and the way they play.
Oh yeah. At the time, he's getting better, of course. But it's true that I never wanted to sign for an Italian club, even if some were interesting about me coming there. But I signed to England because, as Jan just said, I like direct football. I like intensity in the game, and in England, you have that for sure, 100%. Almost 100%, because when you see the first half today between Aston Villa and Wolverhampton, you wonder. But it's true that Atletico is very defensive. But I agree with Jan. When you see Barcelona or even Manchester City, sometimes just keeping the ball just for the sake of it and not trying to do anything else with it, it's a little bit boring as well, and I'm annoyed with that. So I love Liverpool. I like the way they play. I like Bayern Munich because they go forward and they go fastly forward.
Jan, do you know anything about young Norwegian player George Lewis, who is reportedly close to a move to Arsenal?
No.
Good.
I don't know enough about him.
No, good. That's good. That means we can go home earlier. I like that.
Right. We should. Or should I Google? No, but there's a lot of young Norwegians going to different clubs around. We try to do the same tactic as the Icelandic players have done all their life, but I can't say I know him well enough.
Thoughts on Cantwell and Buendia heading for big clubs when Norwich go down, Jan?
Well, I loved Cantwell today. There is something about his physical presence. He's rude without being rude. I like the way he takes people on, and you can see that the big players at Manchester United are getting annoyed by his freshness, by his rudeness in his game. So yes, I can see that. Will he take the next step now to bigger clubs? Maybe he should take that middle or another. I think he should stay in the Premiership. I think that is good for him because people say, well, it's good to go down in the Championship. I've been one season in the Championship, and the Championship in England is one of the hardest leagues, and not hardest in terms of best players, but the intensity of going on some home games, but the away games in the Championship are terrible. So I think that he should go on to the next step in his career.
Frank, have you got any memories of conceding a goal in the last minute in extra time to deny an opportunity to go to a penalty shootout? Has that ever happened to you? Obviously, today we're all looking forward to penalties. From a neutral's point of view, they're kind of fun to watch, but Harry Maguire came in and ruined that.
Yeah, it happened to me once. I remember playing against Leicester. I think it was the quarter-final of the FA Cup, the first year that I played for Chelsea. And Erland Jensen went on the floor without being touched. It was a penalty. Thank you very much, the referee. I'm very sorry for the Leicester fan. And terribly, with no respect and fair play, I scored the goal, and we qualified in the 116th minutes.
Gosh.
And at the end of the day, we won the FA Cup.
And Alan Johnson be my teammate and roommate from under 17 till I was 35, and when I was sport director in Lillestrøm, was the first guy I hired. But I 100% agree with Frank. That was one of the biggest dive ever done by the gladiator in the history of football.
That's true. That's true.
Jan, this could be as brief as George Lewis, to be honest. Jan, which team in the Bundesliga has a realistic chance to challenge Bayern Munich for the title next year? Likewise, Frank, is there any team in Ligue 1 that can realistically challenge PSG next year? Jan, let's start with you. No?
Well, I will see Bayern win again, of course, because they will get a great addition to their already broad kind of team. You would love to see Dortmund take the next steps in terms of having the winning mentality. There's something missing there. Favre is a great coach, but there is something about him not winning the big points, and you can see that at home as well. And I think that is the attitude you need. RB Leipzig, you have the resources to take the next step. They need to first replace Timo Werner, and then they need also a broader squad. So no, I can't see anybody except Bayern going for it next year as well.
Frank?
No way, unfortunately. I think we have to wait a little bit with Nice because Mr. Ratcliffe bought the club, and I think he wants to do something big as well. So maybe within 2 or 3 years we can see Nice hopefully competing against Paris Saint-Germain. Marseille has too much financial problems to cope with the strength of PSG next year because they won't be, I think, allowed to get new players. Question marks about Lyon. We don't know what's going to happen, you know. But Paris Saint-Germain is so strong and so rich that it's almost impossible for any club in France to cope with them. So now it's not going to be another boring season, and it's not Paris Saint-Germain's fault.
Frank, good question here. Could your 1998 World Cup winning French team defeat the 2010 Spanish winning side?
The 2010, they're absolutely fantastic, I have to say. Everywhere there is strength. I mean, it's hard to compete, to compare, generations and teams, but the power of our team was defensive, and I think the most power of Spain was offensive. That would have been a fantastic game. And I don't know who would have been the winner. And I want to be really French, saying that we will win, but I'm not sure about that. Fantastic game. I have my hat off to that team who did so fantastically and won so many trophies, better than us. So I think come on. Spain 1, France 0.
They asked Pelé in 2014 if the 70 Brazil team would have beaten the Argentina of 2014 in Moscow. And Pelé said, yes, we will win 2-1. And they said, well, that was polite of you. Yeah, but he said, the most of are over 75 years of age now. So I think that was a fair question, challenging the generation.
Jan, I always take anything that Pele says with a pinch of salt, because whoever he's being interviewed by, so if it's an English journalist, he has told England for the last 50 years that we're the favourites to win the World Cup. I swear, he just plays everybody like a fiddle. Who would you go for? Spain against France, Jan? That'd be a great contest.
I will always go for Frank and his team, because they had a great balance in their team. They had a good defense. They had a good personality at the back, a guy called Frank Leboeuf, and then they had a quite unknown player who was a good match winner, Zinedine Zidane.
Final
You
point.
tell me how much I owe you. I send you the check straight to the house.
That'll bounce straight down the road, trust me. Final point. Since it appears that both of your careers might have overlapped in England in the late 90s, did you guys ever play against each other?
Well, I think I can start with that, because I thought about that before I came on, and obviously I was playing for a bit weaker teams than Frank, so I would probably lose all games. So I tried to not remember those games, but I think I lost 5-0 at Stamford Bridge at one time, and I'm afraid that Frank played at that game. When we beat him at home, that was 1 year before Frank came at Riverside for Middlesbrough. So, we played against each other at Bahamas, I think, but then we were old.
What was it? But like one of these legends tournaments, all the old people get together.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, we played, and there was Manchester United, Liverpool, All-Star team, and
yeah,
Chelsea.
were you a reporter there? What were you doing?
No, I always said that there were legends of the game, world stars, and not myself. So it was a great team.
Do you still play at all now, Jan?
Till 2 years ago, then I had to operate my knee like a lot of the players. But I love to have a game around, but I'm always the worst man on the pitch now. I can't even score goals anymore, so it's sad. So I would have loved to, but the body has started forgiving me.
Frank, you don't play at all, no?
I don't anymore. Last game that I played was with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge against Inter Milan, like a year, almost 2 years now. But I think it's dangerous, in fact, because your brain thinks you still can do stuff, but your body doesn't follow, so it's quite dangerous at some point. So I think we should avoid, even if it's tempting at some point, but no. I go to the gym, and that's more than enough for me.
Boys, great stuff as always. Thank you very much. ESPN FC back on your screens tomorrow. We'll be looking back at Real Madrid against Espanyol. Zidane's side to stretch their lead at the top of the table. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.